Resume there. So hey everybody, thanks for being here.
Hi, how are you guys?
It's good, doing well. It's 2:42. We'll call the meeting to order. Public comment. Anyone for public comment? All right, going once, going twice. I know Anna has to be at another meeting at 3, so I wanted to get to the items that she's sort of directly involved with quickly before she has to pop off. So I will postpone approval of the minutes briefly just so that we can cover these other things. So the first item after that was Choose Chicago food photography. We had invited Rob Fachik from Choose Chicago to join us for this meeting to sort of talk through that. It doesn't look like he's here yet. Anna, I don't know if you want to sort of give some background on this and the opportunity in Rob's absence, right quick.
Sure. So Choose Chicago is the tourism arm of the city of Chicago. So they do all the tourism work for the city. And they offer a lot of services to organizations like ours to support marketing of the neighborhood and especially of the businesses in the community. So they have photographers that they work with and they send them out to like local businesses, like mostly restaurants and bars. But they would also do cultural activities and also wherever we kind of ask them. So they offer the photography. And so Choose Chicago has worked with the Westridge Chamber and also has tried to work with local businesses, but they have had a challenge trying to schedule photo shoots, selecting businesses. So Rob was going to come to the meeting to talk about those photography services and how we could partner with Choose Chicago to do a series of photography on local businesses that we can then use for marketing. They've done that in Rogers Park. The way that it works is that we select a few businesses and then schedule the photo shoot with them. And the Choose Chicago photographer comes up with all their materials and photography stuff and take a bunch of photos, and then they send them to us. They do a little video and all of that the business owner can use, our RPBA can use, and Choose Chicago. So the photos are pretty neat, and it does help create nice stock image for social media content. So that's what Rob was going to talk about. And so if I think what we can do is maybe start thinking about what restaurants we would like to feature and seeing how we can maybe start scheduling any photo shoots. They take about, the photographer is usually at the business for about an hour. And we do ask the businesses to, like make food, make drinks, make it look like nice so they come out good on the photos. And then the photographer will also take photos of the staff if they like, of the business owner. They'll also take photos outside the business, inside the business. So it's not just the food, but since the photographer is there for an hour, we can probably use them as in any way we like. And so then they move to the next business. So like I would schedule about 3 businesses a day. So that was the gist of the Choose Chicago food photography. Questions, comments?
Sounds good to me. More press equals good.
So you're saying you'd be interested? We'll put your name on that list, maybe. Yeah.
I like press. Press is good.
Yeah, I was really hoping Junaid would be here because if we could get Sabrina Hari on that list too.
I have a meeting with Junaid later, early in the morning. I can talk to Junaid, and I think he would say yes because
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
and Usmania too. If you have an in with them.
Yes, I can talk to Usmania. I can talk to Bundu Khan. I can talk to any restaurant you would like me to do, and then pretty much I can get everybody to say yes.
Great.
Awesome. So I think then if we could create a list, maybe we can do some like a spreadsheet and add some names there, and then we can test it out on one day, see how it works. And if it works well, then we can schedule other ones.
Sure. Just one question for this restaurant. Are they paying something to do show Chicago? It's like free of charge for them.
No, the photographer is free.
Okay. All right, great.
Yeah, we
And
just
the
need to,
And the photos we get and the video we get, we also get them for free.
Okay. And then they will be able to use it as however they would like fit them.
Yes.
yeah,
Okay,
the
great.
businesses can use it too. So it's a
Right.
really great opportunity to, to get businesses marketing material photos they can use. It also gives us stuff that we can use for our website and social media, because I know, we're always trying to come up with content. And this is definitely going to help with that. Avi, would you be interested in getting on the list for photography?
I'm thinking about it. Yeah, maybe. The truth is that I'm waiting for this grant. Hopefully, it'll go through to maybe do a little bit of remodeling and then do it afterwards.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Because you're still waiting on the remodeling grant. I
They're
forgot.
not very responsive, by the way.
Yeah, we've
She-
heard
she-
that from folks.
She got back to me on Thursday. She's like, I need about 10 list of 10 things, and she's like, I need it by Monday. This is
Mhm.
after like 3 weeks ago. Or 3-4 weeks ago, I gave her everything that she asked for, and then nothing. And then Thursday, I'll hear from her. Yeah, I need all this stuff by Monday. That's the deadline.
Mm.
I'm like, okay. I
Avi,
hope. Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask what's your restaurant name? I forgot. So just wanted to.
Great Chicago food and
Great
beverage
Chicago
on
food. Yeah, right.
Devon and Kedzie.
Yeah. Like I like your pizza. Just wanted to make sure.
Used to have, not anymore.
You used to
but,
have. Oh, okay.
Yeah, used to have.
Used to
yeah,
have
yeah,
it. Okay.
Right. So yes, I would be interested, but I would like to maybe spruce up the place a little bit more.
No, that makes sense.
How long this program is gonna run for?
I don't know that there's a specific deadline, because I know they did it
Okay.
last year too.
Okay, perfect. Well, this
um,
thing's supposed to be, if I get it, it has to be done by end of summer. Everything needs to be done, or otherwise they're not approving it. So
Okay. Yeah.
we'll see
Was
what
that
happens.
was that the Chicago Recovery Grant, or was that SPIF?
Spiff.
Oh, okay, cool.
The second spiff. The first one, I don't know what happened. I didn't get approved, but this one, her name is Shalanda Fisher.
Okay.
I don't know if you work with them at all or not.
It's not a name I recognize, but I know
Right.
they've had some turnover at Summer Corps.
Right. We'll see. I mean, I actually reached out to her today, making sure that she got everything that she needed, but no answer. So we'll see.
Cool. Thanks for the update. I'm
No
glad to
problem.
hear that you're able to move forward on SPIF, if not the
Right.
bigger grant.
Yeah. Hopefully, let's see. It's still up in the air. I hope I get approved.
Yeah. Fingers crossed for you. Good luck.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right. I think that's everything that we had on Choose Chicago Food Photography. If no one else has any further questions on that specifically.
Just have one question. Do you want me to provide you the list of the businesses I can speak to on behalf of Choose Chicago, or would you like give me the list though? Just wondering.
Yeah, if you've got a list, I would love to share that, and then we can add some additional folks. And then my other question for Anna is, is there a specific contact at Choose Chicago that we should be giving folks, or is there a sign up sheet, or should we just have
Yeah,
it
no,
coordinate through us?
It goes through us. So once we have a list, then we can see what dates the photographer is available, and then we'll see which businesses are available on those dates. And then that's how it goes.
Okay.
Very good. What's the deadline?
Yeah.
There is no deadline.
No deadline.
So this is a, I guess it is a program. There is no beginning or end of it.
It's ongoing.
However, it is to Chicago, and they could one day change their mind that they don't really want to focus on small neighborhoods, right? Like they want to focus on for
Gotcha.
downtown. And so then there goes that connection. But
I
right now
understand.
they're really into featuring and highlighting neighborhoods.
So it means like I mean as early as possible, so it doesn't slip from their mind. So we have to provide
Yeah.
it like by end of. So I'll try to provide you the list probably end of this week. You know.
Yeah, yeah, because I know we've got Ramadan coming up, and it's about to be
Yes.
busy time for holidays.
Yeah. Ramadan starting on Wednesday, and a lot of people
Yeah.
already got bookings and all. So yeah, definitely. Will
Yeah,
do.
and we've got Passover on the horizon too. It's just I know this is busy season for a lot of folks.
Even
Um,
yesterday was so busy on
yeah.
Devon, we couldn't find parking at all.
Yeah, no, me either. I was circling for a good while.
Yeah.
Which brings us to our next agenda item, which is the tuk-tuk recap and feedback. So we had our ribbon cutting and tuk-tuk rides yesterday. The weather cooperated, which was pretty helpful, and it seemed like we had pretty good turnout. We did have media there, as we were talking before. Pete saved us today and was able to do the NBC interview on site because Sandy and I both had schedule conflicts. So Pete will be on NBC Evening News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 is when they're supposed to be airing the segment. And then we did get featured for that in Sun Times, Block Club, and ABC 7, I think was the other. Did I miss anybody, Anna?
I don't know, but I will send a recap at the end of the week.
Okay. So, so like that all seemed to go like pretty well. It was well attended. We did have one tuk-tuk that's already been seen some minor damage. The one by Par Birdie looks like the mounting hardware got a bit warped. It looks like maybe a car hit it, or maybe a car door from someone parking. So we've let our installation team know. I'm sure it won't be the last time like that this happens, but we're keeping an eye on them, and also to everyone here, if you see one that's damaged or getting vandalized, like let us know so that we can deal with it in a timely way. The other sort of issue hang up that we've been dealing with on the project is that Sandy and I did get a letter from an arts group that we were previously not aware of, accusing us of racism because we didn't hire South Asian artists for any of the tuk-tuks.
I did saw that post.
Yeah, we did send an official response last week apologizing for that. That response was shared with Alderwoman Silverstein's office. And yeah, Sandy and Anna, I don't know if you want to, speak to that a little bit more. Because it, I think, wasn't for lack of trying, certainly on our part, we did reach out to, I think, over 300 artists that were on the list, including folks like Jenny Vyas and Mandela Arts. Of the 300 that were contacted, 30 submitted, applications and portfolio links. And then we worked with you all and then the business owners who are hosting tuk-tuks at their spaces to pair folks up with artists they wanted to work with. Several had folks of their own. So, I mean, yes, it's an oversight. And if we do this again, we will, certainly make sure that group is included and invited to propose art for this. But
we
even
did get
though
open invitation, right, for the artists to come in.
yeah, so we sent it out to a list of over 300 mural artists and
Then
visual artists that we've worked with, which did include some South Asian artists, but
we did our job from our end. So what is done is done. So they're not supposed to cry over that because we did send an open invitation. Nobody responded. That's not our fault.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You got to own it.
And we did send an official response, apologizing for that. But I just wanted to let everybody know.
We shouldn't be apologizing for that since we did our part from our end. We did send an invitation to them. Nobody responded. That's their loss. And if they really want to participate in any kind of event in the future, they should be like, come up with us and tell us like, hey, we have our organization. We have a lot of artists in our organization and we want to be a part of next upcoming event. Then we will be like, okay, we will send you the new invitations and all that. But what's done is done. Like it's gone.
Yeah, I agree with you, except that's just not how it works. You just got to own it. You got to just say, I'm sorry, and we'll be better in the future, and just call it like that.
So
Yeah.
I just want to say we did
Yeah.
both of those things. So we
Yeah.
explained in the response, we explained our process. We explained that we had reached out to all these people. We explained that we reached out to all the businesses, and we also explained that some of the businesses wanted to select their own artists, and the whole process, and explained that maybe we should have been more sensitive about the South
Great.
Asian.
That's
So
perfect.
And
Perfect.
on social media, Cindy, as you have mentioned, I have updated all the description and all
Thank you.
the captions, so it's done as well, like an hour ago.
Thank you. I
Thanks.
was gonna check on that. I wanted to say that their other issue besides the artists was the messaging. Our messaging didn't really describe the significance of rickshaws and why they're important and why we were doing it on Devon and why, yeah, like just connecting the significance of the rickshaws to Devon. That was left out of the messaging, and that was one of the things that they describe as hurtful. And so that's mostly where we apologize on our response, was our insensitivity to include in the messaging the importance and significance of tuk-tuks. They did not like that response, right? And so now they have taken it to social media. But I think we're gonna leave it alone.
What what was the cultural significance? I'm not sure what that means.
I mean, I think Anna at this point, like tuk-tuks and then I mean, we like, I mean, if I see it, people came up and then we try to explain what we can in a simple words, on social media as well. And we try to, stick to the description provided to us about the event. So I think I'm hoping that you guys have responded to them, but again, on their part, I mean, they could have like write down the messages on, I mean, if they didn't like it, they could have communicated before the event as well, doing it afterwards, because if you could have given this response to, to any one of us, either on social media pages or directly via email, it could have been prevented and it could have been taken care earlier as well.
They did send an email before the event. So
I wasn't aware of that. I'm sorry.
yeah, their email was received, I believe, by the 9th, March 9th. Is that correct?
I don't have it in front of me because I've got the agenda
Or
up still.
either the 9th or the 10th.
Yeah, and I know we had sent the official, response and apology letter
Last
really
Tuesday.
last week. Yeah. So
We'll do better. That's it. That's the response.
The response was also inviting them to attend an SSA meeting to not just learn about the process, but also just, they could talk to us about it. But I guess they didn't take us up on that, but maybe they'll join at another time.
yeah, maybe the April meeting. Because yeah, I mean, if they're doing events and programming on Devon, I mean, I think that's something that we would love to sponsor in the future, because we recognize and there's an interest in and a need for more events and cultural programming on Devon that we can promote to bring people to the corridor. So
Let me see if I can talk to the guy I know who's running it. I did met him once. I will try to reach out to him if he is willing to talk, and then I can explain him all the stuff if you guys want it.
So what
Yeah.
do they want now? What do they want now? What are they asking for?
Wait.
What?
What are they asking for now? What's done is done. What do they want?
No,
I can't-
participate in the future, just to cool them down.
Okay, so now what are they requesting something from us, an action or something that can we get another site, another one or more tuk-tuk that haven't and put out, or what do they want? It's what's done is done.
You sound very muffled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Avi, they're asking for an official apology and for us to change our messaging. So we sent them an apology. We're changing our messaging. They want more of a public apology.
I'm so confused. What do we do wrong?
I don't know. I mean, to tell you the truth, they're a group that I was offended by their email just because of the strong wording that they used. They don't know us. They don't know anything about the SSAs. They don't know anything about the Rogers Park Business Alliance. And they just lashed out at us in this email, a very long email, about a great, what I think was a great initiative that we put together that took us, 18 months to get this thing done, and they didn't like our process. So we apologized for it. We said we would change our messaging. We've changed our messaging. And now they're on social media saying that we didn't give a public apology for it.
I'm sorry, I have a question. Like this space shift people, I mean, why, like just wanted to know and clear a few things for myself and, for future events that, have they ever been to, were they invited or did they ever collaborated? Have they done anything on, on Devon
No,
Avenue? Are they
no,
connected
no,
somewhere?
no,
Did
no.
anybody complain to them? And who are those people? I mean, I never heard of them.
So the name,
I'm in this area
We,
for 10
we
years.
didn't,
No.
we didn't know they existed until we got this email from them. And then we did look them up. They do have a presence. They have a Facebook page. They have a website. They have an Instagram. They do a lot of stuff on Devon.
Yeah, they actually opened a pop-up store right by my office where they were doing the art and cultural events, everything for the families, for the kids and everything. And there are a bunch of artists. They call the calligrapher over there. They call the paint artists. They call the singers. So they're kind of like a group. They run all that artist kind of fidelity thing.
But
So
But Ramit, I have a question. Like, I mean, I know your location and we often meet, but I mean, do they ever do something to include the whole community? Because I've come to Devon very often. I go, I mean, I never see anything being done by them. I mean, I never seen
no,
anything.
I have
I
seen.
mean, I'm sure they have done. They have done something, but
I have
did
witnessed it.
yeah, but they ever invited everybody on Devon? I mean,
Yeah, it was
I don't
open
see
event
them.
for all people on Devon.
Okay,
all
What's the name of this group?
they're called the
It was
Space Shift
of
Collective.
that.
Spaceship Collective?
Shift,
No.
Shift.
shift.
That's
not
how they
shift.
signed. That's how they signed the email, and that's how they describe themselves as the Space Shift. One word, collective.
They have a
Spaceship
website.
Collective.
And no, we haven't heard from them before. It would have been great to have heard or have known about them, because definitely they would have been part of, especially if it's a collective of artists, right? It would have been great to have them be part of the initiative.
But are they artists based like South Asian based? I mean, and
Yes.
Most of them, they are South Asians, yes. Even the guy who runs it is from Pakistan.
who is it, Ramesh? What's his name?
I forgot his name. I met him once or twice when they had the event. I went there to ask if they have a kids program. So they had the kids program and everything. And it was open for all people to join in on Devon. There was no special invitation.
They have a Facebook presence, you said?
They have a Facebook and
for
Instagram.
sure. I
both.
think they have Facebook too.
I'm trying to find their page. I forgot the name.
I don't see it on Facebook.
They have a website called the spaceshiftcollective.com.
It's
Okay, I'll
called
check it
Aao
out.
Mil Baithe Hain.
I see a website. I'm looking at it right now.
You send us the link?
Let me share you their Instagram
Okay, sure,
so
Ramesh.
you can get all the details from there, inshallah.
Yeah, message me. I'm just gonna open right then from your message.
Well, let's see if I can share the screenshot here.
Yeah, but because I never like how we often meet and then I never knew they existed. Or
Yeah, and now we know, and I
that's
think
good.
we
We'll
would
collaborate with them.
definitely
And
be open to
Sure,
working with them in the
fine.
future.
sure,
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, and if they have
Sure.
something for us to cover as a part of social media, we would definitely go and cover their event. So
But-
we can bring more people and success to their event and on Devon. So I mean, that would be a great initiative to feature them as
Yeah.
well.
Obviously, yeah.
and more, maybe we'll have more tuk-tuks and they can have artists.
Oh yeah. I shared their screenshot on the chat for their Instagram where they post the story about this whole tuk-tuk thing. They rented the place right by the Western Union, right in front of Republic Bank.
Oh, okay.
And I believe you can't satisfy everyone. You know what? They would have got them. There would have been another group that would have said you didn't include us. So we
Yeah,
didn't know
but
about
that's
them.
fine. That's fine. We'll include them. So what?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that we didn't know about them. It's the first time we even hear about them. If they were more aggressive
fine.
in advertising who they are,
It's yeah, but you can't win these things. You
cannot.
just say, you know what, you're right. I apologize. We'll go do better in the future.
Yeah,
And
we
it's
already
good.
did. We already
And that's
did
what you did. And that's what you did. So there we go.
If you click on the chat underneath all the names, I have shared their Facebook, their
I see it here.
Instagram,
I'm looking at
and
it
their
now.
website.
Yeah.
And Javeira, that way you'll know,
Mhm.
you know, like maybe if someone rings, like,
They said that they didn't let us. They wanted to decorate the
but yeah, I think Pete, you were asking about what they meant about the messaging. I think they felt that we didn't adequately share with people the significance that tuk-tuks and rickshaws have in the South Asian community. You know, our messaging said something like, oh, they originated in Thailand. And they were like,
Okay.
what about Pakistan? What about India? What about all the South Asian countries where this has been
Or
you know,
they're
celebrated? And so I think that was they felt that the South Asian connection had been erased by our lack of us not mentioning them.
Doesn't Thailand qualify for South Asia? I don't know. It doesn't matter. They're right. Fine. They're right. That's fine.
With the
Thailand
word-
is South.
Yeah, I mean, it
Thailand
was-
is Southeast Asian.
Okay.
I
was-
would
All
have
right.
Yeah.
like gone more general with Southeast Asia rather than specifying one country. That would cover
There's
Pakistan, India,
tuk-tuks in the
Thailand.
Philippines.
And
Also-
Guatemala and lots of countries. but-
Yeah, and
I think
Somehow
yes,
it covers in
all
general.
of those things are true. I think it's because it's on Devon where we have Indian, Pakistani, right?
No,
Like,
no,
that's
they're
the-
right. They're right. It's just that we don't know who that group is. That's fine. Let's include them. They're artists. They can come make a tuk-tuk. They can do one too. You know?
but
Have them come repaint mine. if it make them happy.
No, this is fine. No, I don't have a problem with that. They have a point. I'm okay with that. You know?
Or maybe we find another wall that needs a mural. You know, we've definitely got some.
Right.
Oh, since you mentioned about the mural with the wall, I was on Howard somewhere yesterday, and I saw a really beautiful mural they had on the building. Here, I sent a picture on the chat. It's gonna take yeah, here. Can you see it?
Let me look in the chat. Because I know we've got quite a few murals up there.
it's
All right,
beautiful.
I know Anna, I know has
Beautiful.
It's
got
beautiful.
to go.
And I think, it's just a suggestion for you guys. Except for dancing and singing, South Asia has a lot more to offer, you know, the cultural things as well, like as he has shown in the mural of Howard, you know, it's a lot of food and, you know, like henna and, you know, some other cultural aspects like a pottery, like specific pottery that, you know, used by Bangladesh, Nepal, Pakistan, India, then this is also can be featured, except, you know, the dancing part and the other thing, because a lot of cultures, you know, significant and present themselves with those art reflect as well. You know, that could be, you know, one of the murals as well.
Yeah, I think we would just need to sort of identify, you know, where we'd put it and set aside budget for it. We are moving forward on the murals for the Croatian Center. So I've been coordinating with the artist for that. He's expecting to start in April. So we'll start seeing that pop up soon. But, you know, maybe this is an opportunity to start thinking more about, you know, other spots that could benefit from some additional public art.
There's
I
one
would
spot.
I
So
would
good.
send these people a invitation too for the mural too. Otherwise, they're gonna be like, oh, they made the mural on the wall and they didn't reach out to any South Asian
That's
artist.
fine. We'll have- yeah. Let's give them a mural. Let's find a mural we can get done.
Keep them in the loop. Otherwise, we don't want to see any other
Yeah.
Instagram or
I'm fine
Facebook
with
story.
that. I like that. Yeah, let's keep them in the loop. They're artists. They're local artists. They're in our community. Let's keep them
Yeah.
in the loop. We need them. Yes.
Well, let's see some of their work first, Pete. You're gonna give people walls that you've never seen what they painted? Come on, man.
Yeah, you
Let's
know,
entertain them. Don't be giving away stuff. You guys are crazy.
we end up curating it anyway.
Well,
we
I
did it with
get
the
it,
other
but I
stuff.
mean, if everybody cries and you start giving walls away and lights away, dude, we're gonna have a multicolored
Yeah, but you
Devon.
know, you want to
Kind
fight
of
these
sample.
battles? I don't.
Not fight them. You just address them.
It's easier to have a mural. Give people a mural. Who cares?
Address them and figure out a solution. This topic's taking too long. Can we move on?
All right.
Anyway,
Yeah. So the next item that I
this is
had
our
on.
public. I mean, go ahead.
The next item I had on here that I wanted to discuss with the group is that, we've been sort of kicking around the idea of trying to do some sort of food-centric event in the summer. I think, I had proposed maybe trying to structure that as a food crawl type event, similar to what RPBA has been doing successfully the last couple of summers on Clark Street with the taco crawl. We also work with Loyola and the Edgewater Chamber to do a food crawl in September for Loyola students to introduce the new freshmen and transfer students to area restaurants. So like, it's something that we do kind of have a playbook for, and it's usually pretty well received. And we'd be interested in doing something like that on Devon if that's something that folks think, restaurant owners would be into, and that we would want to invest some special event dollars into producing an event like that. Typically we do pay restaurants, certainly for taco crawl. I think last year they were each paid $100 or $200 to prepare their tray of whatever sample they were given to folks as part of taco crawl. So basically we're just looking at paying participating restaurants, and then printing and advertising expenses to pull it off. So it's something that doesn't require a great deal of budget to produce, but I think that the most labor intensive piece of it is just getting restaurants to sign up, and then follow through once they have signed up.
Yeah. So
To
for
me,
that,
to me, it's a really good idea, literally. And honestly speaking, I wouldn't think to pay the restaurant for that. That's actually good for their marketing. They should be like pinching in themselves, like, hey, I want to participate in that. And it will actually market their restaurant and their food. And if they really want to do from us, we can provide them the marketing that they require.
Yeah, and I think, especially given that, it being a new event, like that hasn't really been done on Devon recently, like we don't want to put restaurants in a position where they're being asked to give away free stuff. Especially for a first time out like this, we want to make sure that we are supporting our businesses, not only with marketing dollars, but making sure that our businesses, are getting paid and at least, breaking even on participating
maybe
in
like
a thing.
a sampler plate, Cindy, that they can do at a discounted rate just for that event.
Yeah,
Get like 4 or 5 restaurants. I think everybody would agree to that.
that's true.
so I think, Cindy, I propose our ideas to you on this project, that we can
Mhm.
have restaurants sign up and participate into it. We have few restaurant in mind, and I know that they would be willing if we communicate with them that they will be they can sign up. But of course, due to the rising cost in the food, they would appreciate it if we can. I mean, they would participate and appreciate the offer more when we can. I mean, even the minimalist compensation can be done to them, because of course they are selling their products directly to the consumer. But if you're inviting them for the event, and if they're participating it with their labor time and their food, of course they would want some kind of compensation out of it, to know that it's not only for they should wanted to get compensated for whatever amount of the participation they are doing, whether it's food, sampling tray, and then however, like for limited amount. So that would be us, that would be a better pitch to them to sign up and encourage them to sign up for these events. Because I think without any compensation to the restaurant, that would go in vain. People would commit, but they won't follow through.
Yeah, we want it to be like because that's the other thing too, right? So like, if we're paying them to have food ready to be part of this event, like, then it's, you know, it's I think more real to folks. Like, they're more likely to actually follow through if they're getting paid, and we can say like, you know, we have receipts.
Yes, and then it would be easier and convenient for them to understand the project as well.
Yeah,
For that matter, that the people of the SSA are, you know, serious to, you know, have this event, have more people come into the area.
So Cindy, can we come up with a proposal and a budget, and we should offer it to every restaurant in Devon, and
Yeah.
then, you know, do it in phases, I guess.
yeah. So do like multiple days. So like, on this day, it's this list of restaurants, and on this day, it's
I
different
mean,
lists.
you can do it that way, or you can do it veg, non-veg, maybe do a vegetarian day and then a non-veg day, or mix it up. I don't know, but I think
Or
because
you
of
could
the
do different
downturn-
routes.
Yeah,
That's a
different,
good
maybe
idea.
one side of Devon or the other side of Devon. I think it'll do really well if we plan it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can like speak to Annapurna. I have close contacts with Bhavish, and also we can speak to them, and then, you know, we can encourage them to participate to provide us a non-veg
I
thing.
suggest we
And
reach
yeah.
out to every restaurant.
Yeah, of
They
course.
all need the
I'm
business.
I'm just naming few that I have more
Yeah,
connection with, that
we've
I
got
can speak
contacts
to
with
them.
all of them too.
Yeah, so we
we
can reach out to all of them.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I think
who
we have
owns,
contacts with
yeah,
all of them.
who owns non-veg and veg, and whoever is willing to participate.
Yeah, I think Cindy, we could walk Devon and just
Yeah.
talk to people.
Yeah.
Do we want to pick a date on the calendar to target for this, so that, you know, when we put out the call and start trying to sign people up, we can say it's June 17th or some other time?
It's just my idea. If we could do somewhere the day of Eid.
The day of Eid,
Oh,
that
yeah,
might be
yeah,
too
that'd be too much.
soon.
That's too much, man. Maybe after Eid, Cindy, just because that way people will be a little more calm. Restaurants are either really busy during Eid or a bit before during Ramadan, so maybe
Oh,
right
yeah.
after.
Yeah, I think I was originally looking at dates in June. I think that we had talked a little bit about trying to do maybe a Thursday, because that's not as busy of a day for restaurants as like a weekend, when places
Well,
tend to get more
I was
crowded.
talking about going out to talk to them about the proposal and what to come up with. Like, I think if we speak to a few and get a small
Mhm.
menu going,
Okay,
and then we can just pick a
and then we
date
can
in
back into a
June.
date from
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And for this event, how do you guys want to conduct it? Like, do you want people to go to that restaurant to collect the food sample? What is the like main idea? I mean, how it's done on Howard Street?
So the idea is that, you know, folks that sign up to come to this event would come to like our table that could be located at Republic Bank or the Croatian Center, or, you know, some sort of quasi-centralized location. They come, we give them the list and the menu, and either like little raffle tokens or a punch card passport, and they can then go around to each restaurant and get whatever the menu item is for that restaurant at the restaurant, because we want to drive foot traffic to the restaurants. And, you know, hopefully people are, you know, they go into a place to pick up their samosa or their, you know, or their gulab jamun or whatever, and they're like, well, I'm here, I'm also going to buy a drink, or, you know, pick up a takeout menu, or, you know, we want to introduce people to businesses so that they'll keep coming back, hopefully.
So on the when the people will see, you might want to have a little menu for the participation restaurants to provide, so the people can choose and go and pick the places they wanted to go, like a little, like 4 or 5 items, like on.
The point is to go to each restaurant and get a sample so they
Yeah.
can go into the business. So they'll
Yeah,
go each
so-
place with whatever items that restaurant decides to showcase, like Sabri would probably do Nehati or something. They would have that sample to eat there, and then they can grab a menu or whatever, and it should bring people into the door.
Right. So like you would, you know, if we did make it like a ticketed, you know, paid event, like they'd, you know, pay their $5 or whatever to get their, you know, their wristband or passport or tickets or however we decide to do it. And then that entitles them to a sample at each of the restaurants on the day.
Okay.
Because that's how we've done it for Taco Crawl and for the Loyola event that we do. And both of those are always super well attended.
So everybody kind of goes on their own. It's not a group of people going at a time.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people like will come with like their family or like a big group of friends and all go around, but like it's not an organized event where we're closing a street or, you know, putting all the restaurants setting up tables in a specific spot. Like we're setting up like some check-in stations for people to check in and get their map or list or whatever, and then encouraging people to go around to the different restaurants to like try each of the items.
I think it sounds good.
Yeah, and I don't think we did it for the last taco crawl. Did we do, Sandy, remind me, did we do bicycle rickshaws at one of the taco crawls, or am I confusing that with another event?
We did at the Taste of Clark Street when we did.
That's
the Taste
right.
of Clark Street. We had them, but they were not really used. People liked walking up and down the block, which we prefer also. We thought that there might be some people there that might have difficulty walking up and down the street, and so we provided the bicycle, whatever we want to call them,
Yeah,
rickshaws, and
'Cause
but people didn't really use them.
yeah, because it occurred to me for this, maybe they would, because it's, you know, depending on how many restaurants signed up, it's pretty spread out, and then it's, you know, it was just
But
a thought.
we should see how many restaurants we get, and we can maybe even do 2 different routes, one the east, one the west, or something like that. And
Yeah, or
and
like
then we'll see
Urshad
how-
said, a veg and a non-veg route or something.
I think once we talk to the restaurants, we'll get a better idea of what they think would work too. And I think
Yeah.
that'll be some good interest, and then we can go from there.
All right. Yeah. Urshad, what's a good day for you in the next couple of weeks for us to get together and do some walking around? I'm at a conference next week, but I'm back, I think Thursday. So maybe first week of May or first week of April, sorry.
Yeah, I'm available. That's
All
good
right.
fun.
All right, great. So we'll circle back on that, and I'll work up on budget a little bit more. But just like where I had from pulling from past events, like I was only at about $2,000 for restaurant payments, and then just trying to block in some of the marketing and printing expenses. But we can refine that a little bit more for the April meeting, and get that buttoned up. All right. That was, oh, we haven't done approval of the minutes, because yeah, we're sort of getting towards the end of the agenda, and I want to do that minutes vote while we still have quorum. Does anyone want to make a motion for approval of the minutes? I did send back around the right minutes in that second email. I realized after I sent it that I had originally sent y'all Howard Street minutes, so I did another reply all, and everyone should have gotten Devon minutes in that second email on Friday.
Motion to approve the minutes.
I second that.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, approved. Thanks, everybody. All right, so that's meeting minutes. So that I think we sort of ticked off everything that was on this agenda. I've just still got this key dates sort of section here for reminders for folks. So that the April meeting, I think we'll be doing review of the annual audit. So we're, I think, going to be starting soon to hand off documents and everything for our auditor. So that'll probably take up, I think, probably, if not the bulk of the April meeting, probably a good chunk of it. It's really important that we have quorum for that one. So just keep in mind, I'm probably going to be hounding people about attendance for that one, just because we have to hit this deadline for the city. And then for everybody else, city and county ethics forms are due May 1st. If you haven't already gotten like an email from them with the link and the reminder to do it, let me know. Because if you don't turn them in on time, they assess some eye-watering fines. I don't agree with it, but that's just how they operate. So make sure
Send
that
me
you
that.
turn in your paperwork on the 1st of May.
Please send me the email so I will apply right away.
Yes, because it'll be 2. So there's a city one and a county one that you have to do.
Got it. And Cindy, remember I talked to you about the iftar thing for the Ramadan?
Yes. So you're sort of
This
envisioning
weekend.
like encouraging folks to set out tables in the evening, you know, to promote iftar, right?
Yeah. Like a lot of people on Devon, usually they got late due to work to get to the masjid or get to the home to break their iftar. If the restaurants have a small table set up outside so they can get the dates, water, or some snacks, something like that, if we can allow them.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the only difficulty is it's soon because Ramadan's about to start. But generally, anytime if you don't already have a sidewalk cafe permit, you'd need to secure some sort of right-of-way permit, I think, for putting a table out if it's in the public right-of-way. And as we know from the tuk-tuk project, those public way permits take a while. Sandy, I don't know if you have any thoughts on this, you know.
Or we can set up the table like on the corner of the streets where we have those chairs and everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's still something where we would need to secure, if not a regular right-of-way permit. I mean, that I think we would probably need to even get a D-case permit, which takes even longer. And is significantly more expensive, unfortunately. Like if it's just individual restaurants putting out a table in front of like their own business, if they have a sidewalk cafe permit, that's already a thing that we, you know, anyone could do. But as far as if they don't already have a sidewalk cafe permit, it would need to probably be a public way, you know, right-of-way permit or sidewalk sale permit, which has to be applied for through BACP in order to have table outside.
We tried the sidewalk sale permit thing, Cindy, before you were here, and that didn't work out very well because businesses didn't have the staff to have people inside and outside at the same time. So that was a bust. We only did that once and it didn't work out very well.
And maybe that's something that we can look at a little bit more for next year. Because I think it's too late in the game to try and execute it on this year. Part of that's just because the tuk-tuk project just sucked up a whole bunch of time. And you know, now we're looking at doing another food event. So I think it's a good idea worth exploring maybe for next year. But there is going to be some permitting that we'd need to get dealt with if it's something that we're going to get serious about.
Got it.
Yeah. Other stuff that's on here, so non-city deadlines. So like we're looking at like a food crawl, samosa crawl, something like that in June. I'll get with Urshad and we'll start talking to folks in early April. And then I did talk with Robert at Republic Bank about maybe using the Republic Bank lot again for some outdoor movies in September. So start maybe thinking a bit about that if there's like a movie that you'd want to propose so that we can start looking at getting rights. It would be really cool if we could do, you know, some international films, but those tend to be slightly more difficult to get for rights for. Disney movies are easy. You know, they're a little bit more expensive, but they're not difficult to set up. But you know, we want to do stuff on Devon that isn't happening in every other business district in the city. Like we want to stand out and do unique stuff. So just something to think about. Because I did talk to him about using the parking lots on some of those September dates. And then in July we do budget. So that's everything that I sort of have on this agenda and upcoming ones. It's 3:30, so we've been going for about an hour. I don't want to keep people longer than we absolutely have to. Does anyone else have anything, you know, to add or that we want to see on next month's agenda?
Nope.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for being here. We appreciate you, and we'll be in touch and get working on some more events for summer.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
You're welcome. Bye.
Hey, Cindy, Sandy, I have This is after post meeting, right?
Yeah, I'll
I was just looking at
Yeah.
these guys.